Hi, everyone. As you're joining us, thank you so much for your time today. We are going to probably wait a couple of minutes just to let more people join, and then we'll dive into our presentation. Alrighty, well, it's about 5 after, so we're going to go ahead and jump in today. Thank you all so much for joining us for this very exciting announcement. Before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to introduce us. So my name is Kala, if we've never met, and I manage the Training and Enablement Department at Litify. We, of course, cover training. We also cover the Litify Learning Hub, which is our repository of e-learning content, as well as the Litify community. And so I'm joined here today by two of my colleagues, Kristen Hobson, who is our instructional designer, and she really manages and oversees the Litify Learning Hub, as well as my colleague, Jackie, who is the community admin. So our news today is that the Litify Learning Hub is moving homes, which we're very excited about. There are a number of reasons why we're making this change. And so what we're going to do in this webinar today is talk about some of those reasons. Kristen is going to give us a demo of the new Learning Hub to show you what it looks like. And then we'll talk next steps in terms of what you need to know insofar as getting your users set up in the Learning Hub. So essentially, if you've ever been on our Learning Hub, you're probably familiar with our current catalog, which is very, very text heavy. And one of the big reasons why we want to move to a new platform was to gather some more tools to help us create more engaging and interactive content, primarily for end users learning how to use Litify for the first time, really getting that hands-on practice so that they can dive into the system and get to work. Some high-level information. What is happening? We are transitioning LMSs. LMS stands for Learning Management System. This is just the platform that we house our e-learning content. And we are moving from a platform called Skilljar to a platform called Tovuti. Not really important for you to remember the names of the management system. Just know that this is where the Litify Learning Hub is hosted. When is this happening? So we are doing a phased approach to this launch. Our first phase kicks off on Monday. That's when we officially transfer over to this new platform. And then we have some exciting new features coming on the horizon with this new tool that we'll talk a little bit about. And that's going to start being rolled out beginning Q4 and into 2024. Where is this? So our URL is going to stay the same, training.litify.com. So you don't need to update any bookmarks. It'll just redirect to our new platform, which looks a little different. I'll show you what that looks like. So all active users, and for our purposes, our definition of active is anyone who has logged into the Learning Hub in the last 12 months, will be migrated over. Anyone who is not in that bucket of folks who have been active in the last 12 months, so anyone who has never registered for the Learning Hub or just hasn't logged in over 12 months, will need to self-register. It's a really simple process. It's not changing very much from what our current registration process is for the Learning Hub. And why? I've already talked a little bit about this. We have a number of reasons for making this change, but primarily and most importantly, we're excited to be able to start pushing out more engaging content, more bite-sized content. So instead of directing your new users to a big wall of text, they'll be able to consume in more digestible chunks and more interactive and engaging lessons. We're also excited about the ability to provide some more robust analytics. And we'll give you a little bit more information about what that's going to look like as well. But first, I'm going to pass the mic over to Kristen, and she is going to give us a brief demo of the new platform.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. So what you're seeing currently is our login page. And again, as Calla mentioned, the login page URL is not going to change. So you guys don't have to change your bookmarks. The first thing to do would be to log in, but if it is a new registrant, a new user, they would click on the subscription plans tab and choose either practice management if you're a practice management customer, or the legal enterprise legal management customer tab or tile. So for a PM customer, click subscribe and then put in the access code that is from your CSM. Same thing with ELM customers. And these are the same access codes that we've been using with the previous LMS, so they're not going to change. And then after they enter the passcode, they'll be taken to a registration page to enter their name, email, business name, etc., and then gain access directly into the system. So I'm going to log in. So anyone who has been migrated over, anyone who's been active within the last 12 months will be migrated over. And log in. And first thing they will see is the home page. This is latest information about Litify. Sometimes we might put announcements here, things like that. But to learn, we would click on the checklists on the left-hand side. And this takes you to basically kind of a to-do list. It's a to-do list for people to be able to know where to go and what to do. And if you are familiar with our current LMS, there's not really a way to do that. You just log in and you kind of poke around and you don't know where to go or what to do or what's important for you to first learn versus what's more advanced. So this is a little bit better of a setup. We've got a checklist here. And as I scroll down, you can see that there are different things that I have done that have been checked off. Some things are automatically checked off as you complete them, such as a course. Some things you can check off manually. And this is all set up on the back end. So for example, if you have met with your supervisor, you can check this item off. The arrows on the right-hand side of each item are links to that specific item. So for example, we have a checklist item for the Intro to Litify Practice Management Learning Path. This contains all of the courses for Intro to Litify PM. We have the link that takes you to that specific first course to start. I want to show you a couple of things. We've got some extra activities that we've added in. So instead of like boring tables or a bunch of text, we now have, for this particular item, we have what's called an accordion, and you are able to click around and kind of look at what the definitions of these things are. So a little bit more interactivity makes it more exciting and engaging. We also have this other activity where we can upload an image, and we have little plus signs where you can click on the plus sign and learn more information about what it is on that image. So for example, we could do kind of like the interface or the home page of Litify and have you click around to learn a little bit more about each piece of the home page in Litify. Go back to my checklist. One thing I want to mention about the checklists also is that these buttons up here, you can filter by color or type. So I could filter by other and see these two items. I can filter by courses and just see the one item or, you know, the many courses that are listed within my checklist, depending on the setup of the checklist. And what else? The green ones are events. So I could go directly to the event to register for the event if I haven't already. We also have an events tab over here on the left, and I'll talk about that in just a second. The next thing I want to talk about is the, going back, one thing I forgot to mention. We will have badges and certificates that can be earned. For partners, we've got live training certificates if they've gone through our Litify live trainings. Badges are going to be awarded to people who have already completed certain things within our existing LMS so that we can kind of keep track of who's completed what. And again, those are not members, but users who have been active within the last 12 months. We've migrated them over to this new system. We also have a leaderboard. So within your specific firm or your specific organization, you have points that can be awarded for checking things off of your to-do list or completing courses, watching videos, things like that. And it will be displayed over here. And hopefully your firm employees will like to upload their photos and things like that so that it kind of gives a little bit more engagement and gamification. Resources. We've got some extra resources that were available in the previous LMS, past webinars, things like that. So that's what this tab will house. And the events tab, we've got a couple of fake events here. If you would like to register for one of them, it's very simple. You click on view details and you can register as an individual or you can register a group. So if you have, 10 new employees that want to, watch the event, then click on the group button. And it's pretty simple. You just click on the button and you're already done, if that's the registering as an individual. The last tab is the link to the Litify community. And if you're already logged in, it'll take you straight in. Otherwise, it'll ask you for your login information. And I think that's about it. Did I miss anything?
No, I think that's great.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty, I'm going to take over the screen again. Some important information, next steps, what's going to happen. So the first thing, all of those migrated users, so anyone who's been active in the Learning Hub in the last 12 months, on Monday, on the 26th, will receive an email that will look like something like this. It'll say, welcome to the new Litify Learning Hub. And in there, you will see your login information. Once you log in for the first time, you will be prompted to recreate your password just to make sure we're being more secure. And I believe Kristen already mentioned this, but we are migrating over course completion history. So if any user has completed at least 75% of a course in our current LMS, it will be marked as complete. So we're not losing any of that progress that have been made by your users. Anyone else who needs to register anew, the process will be really simple. Kristen walked you through what that looks like, and we will, of course, be providing step-by-step instructions if needed, but it'll be at training.litify.com, and you will be prompted to enter an access code. Depending on if you are using the practice management suite or the enterprise legal management suite, you'll use one of these two access codes just to make sure we're getting you the right course information. And then you will be prompted to enter in your account information. So fairly simple, and you can look for that email coming on Monday. I also just want to talk a little bit about some of the exciting features we have coming up in our additional phases. So one thing that is a big priority for us at Litify is updating our current course offerings, both to create new courses to fill any gaps we have for both end users and admins, as well as rebuilding our existing courses to, again, meet this new standard of more bite-sized, digestible, and engaging learning content. We also are excited about some improved features for admins and end users. And again, this is something that's not going to be available right away, but we'll be working on standing it up in our second phase. One is using that checklist feature that Kristen demoed to just create more comprehensive onboarding for your new hires, as well as all of our new clients who are implementing Litify currently. The ability for your admins to manage users directly, as well as access to an analytic dashboard. So right now, we do generate reports, and whenever they're requested, about course progress, so that admins can check in on how their users are progressing through their homework. But eventually, we're excited to be able to launch this dashboard feature, so you'll be able to have that live information at your fingertips. Also, more opportunity for customization, custom courses, custom checklists, custom resources. Again, this isn't something that will be available right away, but once we are able to start offering this, we'll be very proactive with communication. Just making sure that your Learning Hub is really doing the best it can to help your users feel comfortable and empowered using Litify to do their job. Finally, we are excited about the ability to push more live training events using that events tab that we saw. So some of you may be familiar with or have experience with the Litify Connections training program. You may also know that next quarter we are launching an admin bootcamp. And so we just hope to continue adding to this library of live training events, including some more bite-sized ones like lunch and learns that you can register for and either upskill, revisit some skills that maybe are a little rusty, as well as help onboard new hires. That's it for our presentation. We'd love to hear any questions. I believe we do have one in the Q&A box. Is the checklist customizable by an admin? So, and Kristen and Jackie might need to correct me on this. I believe that on Monday, that's not going to be a feature that's available to you. However, looking forward to future phases, you will be able to customize or work with us to customize those checklists. We have another question. Can you tell us about the admin bootcamp? Absolutely. So this is the program. We're actually doing a beta group right now, and we are It's essentially a 4-day long, 4 half days training program where we cover some really key Litify and Salesforce administrator concepts. So user management, page layouts, reports and dashboards, an introduction to automation, flows, approval processes, all that good stuff. And it's a very hands-on training. We give you a demo org and we walk through it together. That's going to launch officially next month. So you can keep an eye out. We'll definitely be sure to send out a blast once it's available, but it'll be offered on a fairly regular basis. Someone is asking, how do we sign up? I'm not sure, are you asking about the Learning Hub or for admin training? I can answer both actually, so I will. So for the Learning Hub, you'll sign up using those instructions that Kristen sent out, and we will update our knowledge article to reflect it as well. It's just a matter of getting the correct access code, one of the two. If you're not sure what your access code is, your CSM will be able to tell you. For the admin training, you will be able to sign up on the Learning Hub. So you'll be able to sign up via that events tab that Kristen showed. All right, well, we'll give it a couple minutes to see if there are any other questions coming in. Again, we're really excited about this. It's definitely going to be a phased launch in terms of all of the features. We can't wait to get to you. But to start on Monday when you log in, you will see those core end user courses, Intro to Matters, Intro to Intakes, Intro to Dr. Creo, all that good stuff. You'll see that available on the Learning Hub. And we are just going to be continuing to add to the collection. And we'll absolutely keep the community up to date with any new courses that are published, as well as potentially using that homepage feature for announcements. Alrighty. As an admin, can I provide a manager access to the user's Learning Hub so they can track the user's progress? I believe that's something that we will be able to set up so that, the relevant folks, whether that is the admin at your firm, the supervisor or manager at your firm, whoever the appropriate person or persons is able to look at that dashboard and see how learners are progressing. Yes, that's exactly right. So currently our process for that is to email us and we provide a report showing progress breakdown by user. And that's going to continue to be the case until we're able to get this dashboard up off the ground. And once we have that established, then we'll be able to, it'll just be much faster at your fingertips instead of having to wait on us to create and send out that report. Yeah, so for the time being, you'll still email us to request reports. And once that dashboard is set up, we will be sure to proactively communicate. Anything I might have missed with that, Kristen and Jackie, that you want to mention?
No, I think that covers it.
Q2 will be live. So we're coming to the close of Q2 right now. So no, well, okay, so we're launching next week, still in Q2. The dashboard will not be live this month. It will likely come sometime in Q3, potentially Q4. That again, we'll be sure to be proactive about communicating this. Yeah, thanks. All righty. Well, it looks like we don't have any more questions coming in. So we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you again for coming, thank you for your questions, and just be on the lookout for that registration email. Any questions, you'll be able to chat with your CSM, and we'll, as I mentioned, be sure to continue proactively communicating as we are able to release these new features. Oh, we got one more question. Go ahead, Mark. Will inactive users who had access before and no longer active get these emails too? Great question. So the only people who are going to get that email, which I'll just pull up again in my deck. Here we go. So for our active users, which in this case, we're simply saying anyone who is logged in the last 12 months, they will receive this email. Anyone who doesn't fit that criteria, so whether that is someone who hasn't been active in the last 12 months or has never registered to begin with, they will need to self-register, which they'll be able to do following these instructions. Has something to do with Litify. Yes, that's correct. It's just people who have logged into the Learning Hub. So if you have any non-active Litify users, likely they're not going to be included in that. Wonderful. Alrighty. Well, I believe that's about it. I don't see any more questions. So we will go ahead and give you some of this time back in your day. Thank you again for joining us, and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday.